We're going to start the next session, and I request Mueed Hamid Sahib to come and recite a portion of the Holy Quran, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. The verses which are being recited are from Surah Al-Ikhlas. This is the 112th chapter of the Holy Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
As you're all aware that this is a special session where we have very special guests from all around the world who come and address the Jalsa Salana and send their messages of goodwill to all the members of the community. And our first speaker this afternoon is the Mayor of Rushmore, Steve Masterson. Steve was first elected in 1991 as a councillor and is a very good friend of the community. Rushmore is the borough where, if you'll remember, after Islamabad, we had one Jalsa in Rushmore, and this is the borough that Steve represents. I'd request him to come and say a few words.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dear guests, I am visiting you, as I said, in my role as Mayor of Rushmore. I believe it is important to strengthen the bonds between our faiths and communities. It's a great honour to have been invited to join your annual convention, which I know from some of my predecessors they have had great pleasure in visiting. I appreciate the great effort which has gone into organising this event, and I agree totally with the aims with its help to promote peace, tolerance and loyalty, which, as I say, are values that mean a great deal to me, and I am sure the majority of the community I serve. I value the fact that you invite representatives and VIPs from many backgrounds and across a wide area, which reflects your commitment to promoting peace and tolerance. I am confident that I will benefit a great deal from my presence here today, particularly through meeting many of your guests, which will provide an opportunity for communication and, of course, very importantly, understanding. I hope that you have achieved all that you would have wished from the Jalsa Salana so far this weekend. And once again, can I thank you for allowing me to take part in this wonderful event. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
The Mayor of Rushmore.
Thank you very much, Steve. Our next eminent speaker is Councillor Bernadette Khan, who is the Mayor of Croydon. Councillor Khan has previously been a magistrate in both family and adult courts, as well as with Wandsworth Council on adoption, fostering and child protection. She co-founded a foster parent association and has worked with numerous community groups, including an integral role in the creation of Jalsa Family Centre. It's a pleasure to welcome her to Jalsa Salana, and I invite her to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. I have to say that I was delighted to be here amongst you on this very special occasion for you and your community. I always feel that I am amongst family and friends whenever I come into the community. A little bit of my background. When I was a young mother, I lived in Pakistan and spent 3 very good years there, learning about the country, the culture, which then I was able to teach my children about, and I have to tell you that they also loved their experiences in Pakistan because they talked about it as they got older. I myself, having been a social worker in South London for the years that I have been, have worked amongst women and children and families in your community. And I've considered it both an honor and a pleasure to do so, because many of them had taught me a lot about being a woman, being a mother, playing a role in community, and its importance, and the role models we pass on then to our children. When I was taken to the area where the women were today by a very nice woman called Christina, and I looked at the absolute collage of color amongst the women, I turned and I said to Christina, my, women's power, wow. To have so many women gathered together and sharing their experiences, sharing their family stories, sharing their aspirations for their children. That is also a spin-off of today. What I would like to say is that I wish you and your community every wealth, health, and happiness for the future. I know as a community you do a lot of outreach in your community, you do a lot of self-support and a lot of caring about each other. Let me say, continue to go along that path, because when people and communities come together, everybody is a winner. Can I thank you once again for inviting me here today on this very important occasion, and Assalamu alaikum.
Nara Takbir! The Mayor of Croydon!
Thank you very much. Could I just request all the speakers, please, we have a very tight schedule today, if they could keep within the time limit that has been allocated to them. Our next eminent speaker is Professor Dr. Muhammad Saleh Tajdin, and he's from Indonesia. He's a lecturer at the prestigious Alauddin Islamic University and is a recognized literary figure in Indonesia. He's a long-standing friend of the Jamaat and has participated at various events. It gives me great pleasure to welcome him to Jalsa Salana and invite him to come and say a few words.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Brothers and sisters, first of all, I would like to thank very much to the committee who invite us to attend this Jalsa Salana. My name is Muhammad Saleh Tajuddin from Indonesia. Indonesia is a big country that has 5 big islands and more than 17,000 small islands, and it has 265 million population in 2019. Indonesia has the largest Muslim population in the world, with approximately 225 million. The majority Muslim Indonesia are Sunni, 1 million Shias, and 400,000 Ahmadi Muslim. In 13 March 1925, Ahmadi Qadian appeared in Indonesia as introduced by Maulana Rahmat Ali. In 17 August 1945, many Jamaat of Ahmadiyya played significant role in preparing the proclamation of the Republic of Indonesia as creating the national anthem of Indonesia by W.R. Supratman. However, in 1970s, Jamaat of Ahmadiyya faced many struggles. In early 2000, Ahmadiyya found its momentum in the presidential era of Abdul Rahman Wahid, who gave people freedom to practice their religion. Brothers and sisters, I hope that Ahmadiyya increase its intent to enhance its relation with universities, Islamic organizations, and the government of Indonesia. Internationally, I really salute to Jama'ah of Ahmadiyya, who have been instrumental in spreading Islam in the world, especially in London. I deeply appreciate this annual convention that has a mission to disseminate live in peace with motto, love for all, hatred for none. In the Quran, Surah Al-Anfal, ayat 61, Allah says, and if they incline to peace, then incline to it also, and really upon Allah. Indeed, it is He who is the hearing, the knowing. Brothers and sisters, we hope that the lofty ideal of creating world peace can be realized in the future. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Nara Takbir! Jamaat Ahmadiyya Indonesia!
Jazakallah. Our next eminent speaker comes all the way from Belize. Mr. Bernard Joseph Wagner is the newly elected mayor of the city of Belize. He has extensive banking and financial background and has also served as the chairman of the National Sports Council. He's a very good friend of the community and has traveled here to be with us. We welcome him and ask him to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. Best wishes on this occasion of the 2018 Jalsa Salana from the people of Belize. I bring distinct wishes, particularly from the many young kids of the inner and urban neighborhoods of Belize City that have benefited tremendously through the progressive basketball sporting program currently being spearheaded by the Belize City-based Ahmadiyya Muslim community and led by the two imams, which speaks of the fact that nations cannot be reformed without the reformation of youth. Since its inception in July 2014, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community has played an active role in transforming the lives of many Belize City youths, particularly those that live on the margins. Mr. President, with your permission, may I say that your message of peace and of love for humanity resonates resoundingly throughout the borders of Belize and offers to many Belizean youths hope. Hope that where war exists, there will be peace. Hope that where hatred exists, love. Hope that where prejudice exists, tolerance, and where indifference, a greater purpose. I want to join my Belizean brothers and sisters who have before me in the past participated in this great Jalsa Salana event. I want to congratulate His Holiness and the Ahmadiyya Muslim community for your great generosity, which continues to benefit so many countries across the world. Your work speaks for itself. The hospitals and the housing you have built have made a difference. The electricity, water, and food you have provided for those in need have made a difference. Your assistance in time of natural disasters to many countries have made a difference. And your commitment in alleviating suffering to every race and religion will continue to make a difference. In closing, I join my predecessors alike in condemning all forms of oppression and persecution against your faith, while commending you for your approach on nonviolence, reciprocated it with patience, endurance, love, and forgiveness as taught by your faith. Belize City pledges to continue working closely with the Ahmadiyya community to advance your message of peace and of service to humanity. Thanks and blessings on this Jalsa Salana.
Takbir! Jamaat Ahmadiyya Belize!
Our next eminent speaker is Amiruddin Muhammad, the mayor of Comoros Island. Mr. Amiruddin Muhammad is a very strong voice for religious freedom and a very close friend of the community. I am delighted to welcome him to Jalsa Salana and invite him to come and say a few words.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Your Holiness, honorable scholars, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in your respective titles, ranks, and grades, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It's really a great pleasure to be here today. And let me thank, first of all, God. Thanks to him, we are all here today. I need to thank also His Holiness for all the remarkable efforts he's doing. Let me thank also the whole Jamaat, and particularly my brother, the missionary posted in the Comoros Islands, even if he's in the island of Mayotte, Brother Usama, who, thanks to him, I managed to get this opportunity to be here today. My brother, my little brother, asked me this morning, what is your impression? Why are you doing? What are you doing there exactly? And I had to tell him that I will give you, of course, the ins and outs about what is going here. But let me tell you something. No ordinary person, no single man would have such an idea, would behave like this. I think here we see the real proper image of Islam. We keep hearing lots of bad things, lots of comments all over the world, and especially in the Comoros mainly. But really and truly, this is my first experience, of course. This is my first time here, but I'm seeing really a good image. I really see brothers, I really see Muslims people. I think the message you're transmitting is a proper message, and this is the example we should all follow and attend. I wish I will get other opportunities to be here and bring many other people from the Comoros so that we all share this lovely brotherhood, peace, and compassionate. Thank you so much, and may God bless all of us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Nare Takbir! Jamaat Ahmadiyya Comoros Island!
Our next eminent speaker is Councillor Thailand, the Mayor of Kingston. Through his appointment as Mayor, Councillor Thailand supports 3 charities and has been associated with Kingston Race and Equalities Council for nearly 35 years. I would welcome him to Jalsa Salana and invite him to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. It's a great privilege and honor to stand here and make a speech at this 52nd convention, Jalsa Salana, as the Mayor of Royal Borough of Kingston-upon-Thames. It's one of the largest events in UK and the biggest gathering of around 40,000 people from 100 countries around the world. It's good to see the community come together to organize such a massive event in the UK. I would like to pay tribute to the thousands of volunteers who helped to organize this excellent event by carrying out various duties and providing food for all the visitors. Kingston-upon-Thames has a well-organized Ahmadiyya Muslims organization which make a great contribution to the borough by volunteering in community work, helping charitable events, organizing fundraising events for charities, and participating in environmental projects. Your contribution of hundreds of thousands of pounds to UK charities and helping those vulnerable people in need is very commendable. Not only in UK, you do projects all over the world to help vulnerable people. Thank you very much. For the best part of my life, I have been involved in organizations that stood for promoting equality, tolerance, and respect for diverse cultures, faiths, and human beings. We live in a world which is persistently unsettled by conflicts. I greatly admire the work of Ahmadiyya community for working towards harmony and peace by promoting your vision, love for all and hatred for none. I have worked closely with Ahmadiyya community in Kingston. I have been to several of your events in the past and hope to do so in the future. I am proud and honored to be the 183rd mayor of the oldest rural borough of Kingston upon Thames, which is full of history and heritage. It's a privilege to represent the modern Kingston, which celebrates diversity. I would like to thank the leaders and volunteers of Ahmadiyya Group for the fantastic work you do in helping communities and charities to make the world better place to live with love for all and hatred for none. Thank you for inviting me to this excellent 52nd Jalsa Salana. I wish the community all the success for the future. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Narae Takbir! The Mayor of Kingston!
Our next eminent speaker is Dr. Rami Ranger, CB. Rami is involved in a number of organizations, including chairman of the Pakistan, India and UK Friendship Forum, chairman of the British Sikh Association, and the patron of Princesses Trust. He was awarded an honorary doctorate by Princeton University in America for his contributions to business, and in 2005 received an MB for his services to British businesses and Asian community. He's a long-standing friend of the community. It gives me great pleasure to welcome him back once again and ask him to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor to be here. Each year I come, thanks to Muzaffar Chaudhry, a man full of love, kindness. I come and I get inspired and I want to come back again. And I must pay tribute to your leaders who have given you a very good message, love for all, hatred for none. This message has become even more important in this fractured world, where we have conflict in every direction based on religion, politics, whatnot. But I think Ahmadiyya community is a force for good, and your message is making a very big difference to many parts of the world. Your humanitarian work is commendable. And as a chairman of the British Sikh Association, I would like to express and inform you that the Sikh faith believe freedom of religion is a fundamental religion of every citizen. It is your right to connect with your Maker as you deem fit. No one should tell you otherwise. And in the word of Sikh gurus, religions should be respected, accepted, and if need be, defended. You are a credit to this great country, and I'm so happy to be one of those who consider himself to be a friend of Ahmadiyya community. Well-disciplined community, well-respected, and when you come here, the respect, the love you get, we want this to be seen throughout the world. Thank you very much. I wish you every success for this Jalsa and many, many more to come. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Narae Takbir! Peshwane Muzahid!
Our next honorable guest is Honorable Amra Zulu Jala, who is a senator from Liberia. He has also served previously as the president of the Senate in Liberia. He's a very close friend of the Jamaat and has traveled here to be with us today. I welcome him to Jalsa Salana and invite him to say a few words.
Thank you, sir. His Holiness, honored delegates, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we meet again in the quest for peace. I'm honored to be here at this 2018 annual convention of Ahmadiyya Muslim meeting in the United Kingdom. We are meeting at a time when religious intolerance and division is fueling conflict around the globe, creating chaos threatening peace and stability among mankind. We need just see the Middle East as a vivid example of the situation. Religion must be a source from which we sustain peace, harmony, and entitlement amongst all mankind. Today, while we call for religious tolerance, we call all others to strive to understand the other's faith. By understanding other faith more clearly, it enables us to tackle hatred and division and help in the building of a greater understanding and respect for others' faith. My country, Liberia, has respect and protects religious belief. My late President Tubman in the 1950s, provided a land grant to the Ahmadiyya missions in Liberia. I submit your mission is making serious strides to see the mission goal accomplished, especially in education and healthcare for the needy. On behalf of President George Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, I pledge my country's continued support to Ahmadiyya work in our country. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Narai Takbir! Jamaat Ahmadiyya Liberia!
Our next eminent guest is all the way from Canada. Stephen Lees is a member of the Provisional Parliament for our Peace Village in Canada. He's also the Deputy House Leader in Parliament, as well as the Parliamentary Assistant to the Premier in Ontario. He's a very good friend of the community and has travelled from Canada especially for this Jalsa Salana. I welcome him and invite him to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. I am proud to stand before you as a friend of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and as a member of Provincial Parliament from Ontario, Canada. And I do proudly represent in Ontario's legislature Peace Village in Canada and the Baitul Islam Mosque. Now, I'm reminded by the wisdom of His Holiness from the 2016 historic Jalsa in Canada, who said, and I quote, "Follow the commandment of the Holy Prophet, which says, love of your country is part of your faith." To my brothers and sisters here in the United Kingdom and those watching around the world, I stand before you as an unwavering and unapologetic friend of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. In both of our holy books, we learn about the power of light shining onto the darkness. We will continue to shine light onto the systematic persecution waged against your people and stand united in opposition. Together we will stand up for religious freedom. We will stand up for human dignity and stand with you in the defense of human rights. For this is a battle where goodness will triumph over evil. And this is your story, one of perpetual perseverance, one of hope, an enduring spirit that lives on through the aspirations of the next generation here today and around the world. Because the greatest weapon to combat evil and division is to embrace a message of peace, of tolerance, and love for all, hatred for none. In Canada, I want to applaud the Ahmadiyya Muslim community for the moral duty they uphold every day to mankind, specifically through the life-saving work of Humanity First. The work continues to universalize the values that unite our countries of freedom, democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Because as we know throughout history, democracy will only flourish in societies that embrace the freedom of faith and the freedom of conscience. To the young people in the room, inshallah that with hard work, through a close connection with your khilafat and love of country, you will set our globe on a pathway to peace. Ahmadiyya Zindabad, thank you all and God bless you.
Narai Takbir! Jamaat Ahmadiyya Canada!
He's left. Right? Okay. Our next speaker this afternoon is a very good friend and is a member of the UK Parliament, Paul Scully. Paul is a British Conservative politician and was elected as a member of the Parliament for Sutton and Cheam in 2015. He has also served as a councillor in Sutton. Paul is a close friend of the community and also the Vice Chair of the All-Parliamentary Group for the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Paul has attended many events and is an advocate for human rights and humanitarian work. It gives me great pleasure to welcome him once again to Jalsa Salana and request him to come and say a few words.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you all today, to join the President and a few million of his closest friends around the world is a very special occasion for any person, and I'm very proud to be here. What I must say as well is I must congratulate and send my best wishes to all of those people that are here for the first time, that have made the International Pledge of Allegiance. I know it's a special thing for anybody to watch, never mind participate in, and I hope you really did feel the connection to a new extended family, and that is to be very much welcomed. Now, I've seen councillors, we've heard councillors speak. I've also had some Sutton councillors, Nali Patel and my Conservative colleague Tom Drummond here, and that is a cross-party way of showing that the Ahmadi community is very welcome in each of our local communities, especially Sutton, as I am a Member of Parliament not too far from the Batul Futuh Mosque. It's funny when I have to travel 40 miles down the road here to Hampshire to bump into constituents that I might not see just next door from where I live. But Ed Davey is here, Stephen Hammond was here yesterday, a number of members of Parliament, because you are also very welcome at a national level. And it's a pleasure to see in the marquee next door that you have made banners up of our speeches that we made in a recent debate in Parliament, and that you have also are helping us as part of the all-party parliamentary group for the Ahmadiyya community write a report that will be launched in Parliament amongst UK parliamentarians and then go far, far wider than that, talking about the persecution of the Ahmadiyya community around the world. And that's because we as UK parliamentarians want you to be welcome around the international community, no matter which country, and that is indeed so important as well. So can I just thank you for, despite having such difficulties in certain countries around the world, letting that not block your aim of peace around the world. You are always the first people that I see after the Westminster terror attack, after the Paris terror attack, after so many atrocities. It is always the Ahmadiyyas that actually come up and live the motto, love for all, hatred for none. Thank you very much once again.
Nara Takbir! Jamaat Ahmadiyya UK!
Thank you very much. We will wait just for a couple of minutes for arrival of His Holiness. He's en route and should be with us shortly, and then we'll conclude this session.
Mustafa. Islam Ahmadiyyat. Islam Ahmadiyyat. Ghulam Ahmad ki. Ghulam Ahmad ki. Khilafat-e Ahmadiyya. Khilafat-e Ahmadiyya.
तशरीफ रखें। अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह।
Khalifatul Masih al-Khamis. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih al-Khamis. Jamaat Ahmadiyya Alamgir. Jalsa Salana UK. Nara Takbir.
Assalamu alaikum, beloved Hazur. Hazur, our final speaker this afternoon is a very good friend of the Jamaat, Right Honourable Sir Edward Davey MP for Kingston and Surbiton. Sir Ed is a British Liberal Democrat politician and was knighted in 2016. He served as the Secretary of State for Energy and Climate Change, having previously had the role of Minister for Employment, Relations, Consumer and Postal Affairs. Sir Ed is a member of the All-Party Group for the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and is a great friend of the community. He's attended numerous events hosted by the Jamaat where Hazur has been present. And it gives me great pleasure to invite him to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me once again to talk to you at the Jalsa Salana. I bring greetings from the leader of my party, the Liberal Democrats, Sir Vince Cable, and I have 3 points to make to you today. The first is to celebrate the work of one of the world's true leaders, His Holiness. The second is to thank the Jamaat for the work you do here in the UK and around the world, particularly in relieving poverty and helping the fight against climate change. And my final message is a challenge to the new Prime Minister of Pakistan. But my first is to celebrate the work of His Holiness. His message of peace to the world needs to be heard with ever greater noise. We live in a world that is divided. We see too many conflicts. But His Holiness have stood up for peace, argued for humanitarian work in the awful conflict in Yemen, as well as in Syria and other conflicts before. And I want to celebrate and support your work. But I want to thank the Jamaat for all the charitable work you do here in the UK, but perhaps even more importantly, the work you do around the world through organisations like Humanity First. By giving up your time, by volunteering, you live your faith, you live your message. And I want to thank you for that. And seeing the work in one of the exhibitions here at the Jalsa Salana, the work showing that members of the community who are engineers and architects going around the world, building villages, but helping people get water for life, investing in solar energy, which will be the way that we can tackle climate change as well as reduce poverty in the poorest countries in the world. This is a fantastic achievement and contribution. And hopefully it will mean that next year or years in the future we won't have to spend so much on air conditioning. But my final message is a challenge to Prime Minister Imran Khan. You now have huge responsibilities. You now have the chance to reduce and end the persecution and discrimination against religious minorities in your country. Not just Ahmadi Muslims, but Christians and people of faith from other groups. And I think you cannot be a friend of the Taliban in Pakistan and come to Britain and pretend to be a liberal. So I call today on Prime Minister Imran Khan to promote tolerance and to throw open the door of freedom and human rights to everyone in Pakistan. But I want to end on thanking everyone here today and wishing the Jalsa Salana and the Ahmadi community the very best in the future ahead. Thank you.